Hello and welcome to Asan Hai Education. In this video, we will discuss about secularism. What is secularism and different type of secularism. For example, what is Indian secularism and what is the concept of Western secularism. So we'll discuss all these things in detail, which is a topic mentioned in your GS paper 1, regionalism, communalism and secularism. So in this video, we'll know what is secularism and its different type and what is the concept of secularism in India and what the constitution says about secularism. Okay, so let's start. The term secular means being separate from religion or having no religious basis. So India is a secular country as it is mentioned in preamble itself that India is a secular country, and secular means being separate from religion or having no religious basis. A secular person is one who does not owe his moral values to any religion. His values are product of his rational and scientific thinking. Okay. Secularism means separation of religion. Secularism means separation of religion from political, economic, social and cultural aspect of life, religion being treated as a purely personal matter. Okay, so religion will be your personal matter. State will not have any official religion, as in the case of India. When we compare India with its neighbors like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, they have declared themselves as a Islamic state. But when we talk about India, India has not declared itself as a state religion. India do not have any official state religion. So India is a secular state. Here all the religions are protected equally and they are promoted also. Okay. It emphasized dissociation of the state from religion and full freedom to all the religions and tolerance of all the religions. Okay, so all the religions will be equally protected and equally promoted by the state. Secularism also stands for equal opportunities for follower of all the religions and no discrimination and partiality on the ground of religion. This we have discussed. Secularism, this is the reason that India is known as the secular country, because we do not have any type of, okay, we do not have any religion. Now we will discuss about Indian and Western model of secularism. This very frequently comes in your mains examination, that differentiate between Indian versus Western model of secularism. So we will see what is the main difference between Indian and Western model of secularism. So see, over the year India has developed its own unique concept of secularism that is fundamentally different from the parallel Western concept of secularism in the following ways. So let's see what are the main differences when we compare Indian secularism with Western secularism. See, as per the Western model of secularism, the state and the religion have their own separate spheres and neither the state nor the religion shall intervene in each other's sphere. So when we talk about secularism in the Western concept, it means strict separation. Means if this is religion, this is state, there will be no interference by one another in each other's domain. So there is a strict separation of religion and its state in the Western concept. Okay, so thus the Western concept of secularism requires complete separation of religion and state. The Western concept of secularism requires complete separation. Religion and state's affair are two different things. No one will, neither state will interfere in the religion and neither any religious affair will enter in the affair of the state. Okay, but when we compare it in India, see, however, in India, neither in law nor in practice any wall of separation between religion and state exists. There is no any law or there is no any wall that exists between religion and state, because every religion is equally protected and equally promoted by state. In India, both state and religion can and often do interact and intervene in each other's affair within the legally prescribed and judicially settled parameter. So, if any religious practice discriminates anyone, the based on the provisions mentioned in the constitution, for example, right to equality, right to liberty, right to life, then state can intervene provided it is the legally prescribed and judicial settled parameter. Okay, so in other words, Indian secularism does not require a total banishment of religion from the state affair, because state can interfere when there is a violation of someone's right. Let's see some more difference between Indian and Western secularism. As per the Western model, the state cannot give any financial support to educational institutions run by religious communities. In Western concept, the religious minorities cannot receive the aid from the state. See, as per the Western model, the state cannot give any financial support to educational institutions. But when we compare it in India, on the other hand, Indian model has chosen a positive mode of engagement. Okay, positive mode of engagement means when any institution or minority educational institution is not able to fulfill its demand on its own, then government can provide grant to run that minority educational institution or religious educational institution. Okay. In India, the state provides all religious minorities the right to establish and maintain their own educational institutions which may receive assistance from the state. So in India, there is a right available to the minorities community to establish and maintain their own educational institutions under Article 30. Okay. In the Western model, state does not intervene in the affair of religion till the time religion is working within the limits of the law. Until and unless in Western concept of secularism, religious affair violate the laws made by Western countries, the state will not interfere in the religious affair of an individual or a community. Okay. On the other hand, in Indian secularism, state shall interfere in religion so as to remove evils in it. I have told you that if any religious practice violates the provisions contained in Indian constitution, then state has to intervene to remove that evil from that religion. For example, if any provision of a religious practice violates the right of women, for example right to equality, for example right to life, then state will have to intervene to remove that evil from that religious practice. Okay. India has intervened by enforcing legislation against the practice of sati, widow burning, dowry, animal and bird sacrifice, child marriage, and preventing Dalits from entering temple. So on all these instances, India has intervened. Which instances? To abolish practice of sati, abolish widow burning, dowry, animal and bird sacrifice, child marriage, and preventing Dalits from entering temples. So all these instances forced states to intervene in the religious practices to remove these evils from the religious practices which were prevalent in India before some time. Okay. In Western concept of secularism, religion is relegated entirely to the private sphere and has no place in the public life whatsoever. So in the Western concept of secularism, religion is a concept in private sphere. In your private sphere, you can do anything, whatever you want related to your religious practices, until and unless it violates the law maintained by that Western countries. Okay, let's see some more things. The Western model prohibits any public policy to be drafted on the basis of religion. Therefore, state is absolutely distanced from the religious activities and practices of citizen. So, any policy in Western countries cannot be framed on the basis of religion because state is explicitly separated from religious affairs. In India, state has the policy of setting up Department of Religious Endowment, Waqf Board. It also involved in appointing trustees of these boards. So in India, we keep distance, same distance from all the religion. For example, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, we maintain same distance from all the religions and we provide equal protection of laws to all the religious affair of an individual. Okay, so these were some of the differences. Let me conclude. If we compare Indian secularism with Western secularism, in Western secularism there is a complete separation between religion and state, but here religion and state is not completely separate, but state can intervene when there is prevalent of any evil in the religious practices. State can intervene to remove that evil practices, but in Western concept of secularism, state can never intervene. Okay, so all these differences. Okay, now let us see some of the provisions which are mentioned in the Constitution of India. Okay, now we will see what are the provisions mentioned related to secularism in Indian Constitution. See, secularism and Indian Constitution. There is a clear incorporation of all the basic principles of secularism into various provisions of the Constitution. Let us see that. The term secular was added to the preamble by the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act of 1976. India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. So there are different provisions in the Constitution which mentions secularism in the Constitution. For example, the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 have added the word secular into the preamble, making it look like India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and republic. Secular emphasizes the fact that constitutionally India is a secular country which has no state religion, and that the state shall recognize and accept all religions, not favor or patronize any particular religion. So when we talk about this thing, that when the secular was inserted into preamble by 42nd constitutional amendment, its main focus was to emphasize the fact that India is a secular country which has no state religion. When we compare ourselves with countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, India is a secular country that state shall not recognize any religion as its official religion, and it shall accept all the religions, not favor or patronize any particular religion. One religion should not be discriminated on the basis of or on contrast to another religion. All the religions should be equally protected and promoted. Okay. See, Article 14 grant equality before the law and equal protection of the laws to all. Article 15 enlarges the concept of secularism to the widest possible extent by prohibiting discrimination on the ground of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. So this concept of secularism is protected under Indian Constitution under Article 14, which provides for equality before law and equal protection of law. And Article 15 also enlarges the concept of secularism by prohibiting discrimination on the ground of religion. No people, no individual can be discriminated only on the ground of religion, that he is a Hindu, he is a Muslim, he is a Sikh, he is a Christian. No individual can be discriminated only on the ground of religion. This is strictly prohibited under Article 15. Article 16 also, they see, Article 16 guarantees equality of opportunity to citizens in matters of public employment and reiterates that there would be no discrimination on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth and residence. So Article 16 also prohibits discrimination on the basis of religion. Okay. Now let us see some of the more provisions. Article 25. Article 25 provides freedom of conscience, that is, all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice and propagate religion. So this Article 25 also provides freedom of conscience and freedom to freely profess, practice and propagate your religion. You can follow any religion, you cannot follow any religion. You can be atheist also. Okay, if you do not believe in God, you can do not follow any religion, but if you believe, you can freely practice, propagate and profess that religion as well. But you cannot force anyone to convert into your religion. You can just freely profess, practice and propagate your religion, but you cannot force any individual to forcefully convert into your religion. Let's talk about Article 26 of the Indian Constitution. Article 26 provides every religious group or individual has the right to establish and maintain institution for religious and charitable purposes and to manage its own affair in the matter of religion. So Article 25 and Article 26 also provide, Article 25 and 26 come into a joint complexion. So they both provide religious freedom at individual level and at community level. They can manage their religious affair. See some more provisions. See, Article 27, the state shall not compel any citizen to pay any taxes for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious institution. So, Article 27 strictly prohibits the state to ask citizens to pay taxes for promotion of any specific religion. This is strictly prohibited under Article 27, that state cannot force you to pay taxes for the promotion of any specific or promotion for any one religion at cost of another. See Article 28 as well. Article 28 allows educational institutions maintained by different religious groups to impart religious instruction. Okay. So Article 28 protect the right of religious minorities, that religious instructions can be given under Article 28 to minority educational institutions so they can protect their script and culture. See, Article 29 and Article 30 provides cultural and educational rights to minorities. So all these provisions are mentioned in the Indian Constitution, and whenever you get a question related to secularism, you have to incorporate some of the articles mentioned in the Constitution. So this will give more weightage to your answers. This will fetch you some extra mark. See, Article 51 is also related to secularism and how we have to promote secularism. See, Article 51, which is a fundamental duty, obliges all the citizens to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood and to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. Okay, so all these provisions are mentioned in the constitution. So in this video, what we have discussed what is secularism, what is the different concept of Indian secularism and Western secularism, and we have also discussed some of the provisions mentioned in Indian constitution related to secularism. And what are the some of the threats is communal politics. Politics is played based on caste. So these political parties will have to do away with this communal politics so that secularism flourishes and grows day by day in India, so that Indian secularism can become a model to replicate in other countries of the world as well. So this was a general explanation of your topic related to secularism, which is mentioned in the your GS paper 1 syllabus. A topic you have regionalism, secularism and communalism. So you have to incorporate all these points while you are writing any answer related to secularism. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day.